Hi guys, everyone's here. It's all the good people. Oh, Wes, you didn't click it yet. Okay. Anyways, hi guys. Weird intro. We're gonna be doing the thing. You all know who's here, but not Rummy. Rummy's cool. I think I mispronounced it. It might be Rummy, but who cares? Hi.
That was
Yes,
a
it's
very
Rummy.
interesting intro. Just saying.
Introduce yourself, new person.
I'm a straight white male out in New York, and my name's Rummy.
Nice. Okay, TJ. Now you can go
Wait,
do
is that
whatever.
allowed in your podcast? Can I encourage the SJWs to flag your shit?
No. Yes. I don't know. It's whatever.
It's good.
Good.
But anyway, Rummy is this guy off YouTube, and he has, well, obviously his channel is what, Rummy?
It's
Uh,
speakeasy.
Rummy the scummy.
It's quite literally speakeasy. Speak, capital E, capital Z. That's pretty much it.
Alright. So, how's you at work right now, and you like a last minute fucking guess because MDA couldn't make it? That sucks.
Cause he's
Wait,
Yeah.
what? He couldn't make it.
Yeah,
Why
he
was
couldn't
he at
make
work?
it.
No. Okay.
No, something's. We don't have to, like, he's just
We
doing
can't
stuff,
explain
I
it
guess.
right now.
Yeah.
We don't have
Okay.
all the information.
No, it's just we
Okay.
can't talk about it on video. So.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we have the information. It's just classified.
Stop.
No.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look. Okay. Look.
I don't know
Hush,
what
Mo,
I'm
nigga.
saying.
Shut up.
You fucking Jesus.
Jesus Christ, Dan.
You fucking
That intro sucked. I did like the intro, not really though, but it sure sucked. And anyway, the topic of today is, what was their topic? Like fucking, someone said-
Spicy memes.
yeah, spicy memes, I guess.
Spicy
So
memes.
Romy told us a lot about these memes on 4chan because he's a big 4chan guy. And
Oh, he's one of those people.
yeah, and stuff. And
Not a neck beard, if that makes you feel better.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel tons better.
I don't
You
go
know
on
what?
the
I kind of
fucking
imagine
anime
you with a
boards.
neck beard. I don't know why. I think I just did.
I
I
do
had one and
literally
I
grow a
shaved
beard
it.
on my fucking neck. I mean, just go through my Twitter.
Like legit, I started to grow one and I shaved it because they're like fucking nasty. They
I
feel.
transcend neck beard.
You transcend neck beard.
Yeah, if you, I grow pretty much facial hair all the way from my lip all the way down to my neck, and if I don't actually shave, the fucking hair connects to my chest. Holy shit.
Dude, that's
What the
amazing.
fuck?
That's like an ultra beard.
Jesus.
It's an all over build. I'm
It's an
fucking
omega
bush
beard.
wookie. So what about dank memes? What the fuck do you want to know? I've been putting you through like
Oh.
6 rings of hell the last couple weeks with that shit.
yeah, like you were talking about like before the podcast started, you were talking about like, I mean, this is obviously a meme. Like you're gonna be a living meme now. So you
Hey,
actually
don't
did
steal my
work.
spot. Don't
TJ.
steal.
I mean, Dan.
Gee, Dan, let me talk. Dan, you always fuck up shit. But anyway, you were telling us that you were working in the porn industry.
Oh god.
Yeah. So you were like what, the camera guy or something?
Yeah, I ran second line camera, which is all like B line footage or B roll footage, whatever the fuck they want to call it. It pretty much, I'm the guy who's supposed to get in close whenever they, get the cum shots, and I'm supposed to get all the alternative angles instead of the front.
So that money shot. So how was that? Like how was the work? How much did you get paid for that? Like that must have been fun.
Well,
Like
usually you don't get paid hourly as a cameraman, but
Mhm.
I was paid hourly, which
oh, that's
was kind of dog shit, but I was quote unquote an intern. So, I mean, what can you do? But it was pretty good money. It was like 21 bucks an hour.
holy shit. So
Damn.
guys, I'm gonna be in the porn
USD.
industry now, being the fucking camera guy.
That would suck
USD.
though. Like
It does kind of suck because like I'll just say
To
right
watch
now, if you're a cameraman for pornography, you gotta wear something besides actual clothes.
Oh
You can't
god.
wear normal clothing. That's not how that works.
Oh jeez.
So-
So I can't just roll in with jeans and a t-shirt.
I came in with like just regular like Levi's or Levi's, however the fuck people say them, and I just
Right.
came in with like
Normal blue jeans.
indelible ink shirt, sitting. I'm just like, oh look, I'm just gonna film camera, la la la. This dude just busts a nut in this chick, and nobody told me the dude was gonna fucking pull out, and it gets right on my fucking boots, and nope.
You gotta get like.
Oh my
Well,
god!
I never go with regular clothes. I do camera shots.
No dress clothing for this?
They're my
Oh
fucking work
man,
boots,
so
too.
don't come like an hour before like a recital in a tuxedo. Just don't do that. We're giving you the one-on-one on how to be a good cameraman. Don't
I
come
got
to
cum
tux.
on my shoe.
Generally, if you want to work in porn as a cameraman, you have to treat it like the splash zone of a concert. You don't wear your good clothes.
Oh my
You
god.
might want to
Wow,
go
so-
for like the medical like, the good like medical like Spock and whatever. Just roll in like,
You mean,
alright,
a,
I'm
you mean
ready.
a scrub?
Yeah.
I mean, or
that
you just
thing.
come in with no clothes. I mean,
I'm pretty sure you could, but I'm a very short, fat child. It would not go well.
I don't know if you guys know what the Geneva Convention is, but they pretty much outlawed my nudes. So
Oh.
I'm not going anywhere naked. My ugly butt looky ass.
Oh, so what?
I'm gonna mute
So-
myself. I gotta open my door.
Can you tell us like what of the films that you actually worked on, like for the camera thing?
Films? No.
Yeah, because
Well,
you
they're
were the
not.
cameraman.
I don't like get to know what they finally name it. They just throw that shit up on like RedTube, Pornhub, XXX Hamster, and shit like that. Yes,
Oh,
that's
really?
a website if you didn't know. It's about as ridiculous as it sounds, but apparently it's like the most popular one next to Pornhub.
no. I thought like XXXNX was like the top one. Because like it was.
Say
really
that again?
popular. Never mind. Fucking. Never mind.
You're just
Move
really
on.
quiet.
Just never mind.
Fucking.
You want to be a
DJ.
connoisseur? Let me teach you. No, they don't give you. If you're a cameraman, they generally don't like put you in the credits unless you're doing something professional like Bang Bros or like what do you call that shit? Brazzers and all that shit. Because that's like a proper filming crew. It's not just like a get together watch people bang.
It's like just get someone off the street. Just like, hey, you wanna film? You wanna film porn?
Well, that's the funny story of how I actually got fucking recruited for it. Is I just came off of my senior year of high school, and I don't know a shit ton about cameras. All I know is which ones are shit and which ones aren't. And this guy said, "I have my own camera equipment. Do you want to come in and film like some like adult shit?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "We're gonna film a interracial porno." I'm like, "All right, I guess." Because he said 21 an hour, and I'm like, "All right, I'll fucking take it. I don't care." And this is in New York City. This is like out in the Bronx. So the Bronx is pretty much legendary for being a shithole, and it's not the best place ever. Grew up a part of my life there, and I go in there. It's the most Jewish part of the fucking neighborhood that I can imagine. And I go up in this like really shitty apartment elevator. When I get in this fucking top floor, though, this dude's apartment is almost completely different from the rest of the building. When you go in the building, it's like every depiction of a typical New York apartment building you think of. But then on the inside of this man's specific house, it's like completely filled with new carpets, like proper wallpaper, expensive dishes and shit everywhere, alcohol hanging off the fucking walls. And the dude contacted me on email because he knows my teacher, but my teacher didn't know that he was a porn director because he was previously somebody who did advertisement films for schools and universities.
That's a big change. Hey, I did school advertisements. Now I do pornos.
And whenever you graduate from a New York school as a high school student who was eligible for college, your name gets put up in like the class of X year here. And he saw what I was all specialized in, and he saw my grades and shit from the reports, and he's just like, I saw you in that class, and I wanted to fucking bring you in as a camera dude. I'm like, Who the fuck looks at this? And then I find out later on, he just yanks random students off of universities and high schools to film this shit because we don't have to pay them a proper wage if they're interning.
Jesus.
Wow.
So he's just getting like cheap cameramen just off the school grounds.
So he's rich. That's what you're trying to say. He's freaking rich.
He's rich, but he also basically takes the students and treats them like straight up immigrants.
Oh god.
It's like, here, I'll give me your student, and I'll give you a porno.
You get a job, but we're not paying you full price because technically you don't count as an employee.
Wow. Amazing
Yeah,
story.
it doesn't pull up on tax forms, none of that shit. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
How? No, okay, so how times did you like?
How many times did I what?
Hold on.
Did you film one?
Difficulties.
Did you film like a porno? How many times? Like,
How many
did you just do it
times?
once?
I'd say about 15 times. Probably. Never in the same place twice.
Oh really?
So at least
Nope,
you got
all
some
over.
travel. You got some travel.
All over
What
different
would you
parts
do
of, like,
if-
New York.
What would you
Oh.
do if you got all tingly while you were filming the porno?
Jesus.
All tingly while I'm filming the porno? You saying if I pop a stiffy?
Yeah.
You don't pop a stiffy when you're watching other people fuck unless you're like totally into that.
Unless you're weird.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, if other people are into it, fine, but as much as people like to build up the idea of threesomes and shit and orgies and whatnot when you're younger, it's not everything it's cracked up to be, I'll tell you that much. It's not fun in my opinion, because when you see a bunch of other like hairy, ugly ass dudes grunting like gorillas, you just can't keep that boner up without fucking laughing or just being totally disgusted. It's just foul. You don't want to watch other dudes like clenching their ass cheeks and just fucking going hog wild on chicks. You're just like, this is different when the screen isn't between me and you. I'm in the danger zone.
Oh.
I'm in the danger zone.
It's like a safari with no weapons and there's cock and balls everywhere.
It's just a forest of cack and barrels.
It's fucking horrible. I'll just tell you right now, porn is not like the coolest place ever to work, contrary to what most people would say.
Well, probably.
Dude, I would hate to be one doing it though, like, cause freaking like you have to do that like freaking.
Well, people are just standing there watching.
I don't know. Like, I could never do it. Like, there's a difference between you just shooting like an amateur video or something, like with a girl you're hooking up with.
It's like that's.
You all got
that's
people
homemade.
watching you and shit.
Yeah.
But then you have a bunch of people like with setup like light tents and a whole bunch of other like camera equipment
You
around
got
you. And
like
they're
a
like,
full
all right.
camera crew around you, and you're like, oh, I have to actually.
They're
perform.
like,
I just
you're
imagine a
sitting
director
at about
just
half
like, "No,
chub,
you're
buddy.
doing
We're
it
gonna
wrong."
need a fluffer. Oh, do you guys know what fluffers are?
Aren't they the ones that like prep people before the video?
Prep, yes, that's the more polite way to put it. But yes, they kind of like give dudes stuff to jerk off to, or they just have a girl that's basically like a porn roadie who just jerks you off and or just like sucks your dick a little before you go in to film. It's pretty
I think
fucking
that's the greatest term I've ever heard.
Fluffer.
No. What's your job? Oh, I'm a porn roadie.
I'm a porn roadie.
I'm a
But yeah, that's
fluffer.
pretty much what they are.
Rummy,
That's
were
what
you a
fluffers
fluffer?
do. They are the person who gets you coffee, but except coffee, they just suck your penis a little.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that.
No, you wouldn't mind
What-
being the fluffer? What?
No. I
Hey.
wouldn't mind instead of a coffee break, have a fluffer.
I don't know, man. She has her lips all over everybody else's dick too. You're not special.
That's true. Now that I think about it, it's kind of a community service thing.
Yeah, like, do you want to sit on the same toilet as your bro after he takes a massive shit on it? I don't think so.
Not really.
There you go.
Unless it was like a really bad shit.
Like,
If I really had to go.
Okay, it's like you just missed. Like how you just missed and hit the toilet seat after you took a massive shit.
Oh
How
no,
did
I
you-
would dodge that like crazy. There would be
Anyway.
no one could pay me enough to go in there if someone did that.
We don't need to keep talking about shit. We're talking about everything on the other side of the body. We're talking about everything that's an inch and a half away from that utter trash hole.
The
Oh
human
my
garbage
God.
disposal.
Any other questions there, Josh?
Josh is just intrigued about this business.
Did you ever
So
film any
many-
solo scenes?
Okay. Like your whole story and this is like the best meme ever. It's just like Rummy used to be a camera guy in the porn industry. Like that is fucking crazy. And your stories are just like, so you tell me that some
Hey,
guy
man.
came on your fucking shoe one day and then
My
this-
fucking Tims, and that's not even the
My
meme. I wear Tims.
On your Tims. On the Tims, not on the Tims.
Oh man, I would have been.
That's
sad
a
if you said-
$160 pair of boots that some dude.
Oh
did
my
on.
god, what the fuck?
I wanted to
And
kill
now
him.
guess what? He added a little personal touch to him.
Yeah, if I put a
A
black
tiny
light
little
on him, it'll
STD.
look like a little bit of the cosmos is staring
Okay.
back at me.
Rummy, did you film any solo scenes?
Solo scenes as in like me or like just people by themselves on the camera?
Yeah.
Uno person.
That does not tell me which one.
Wait.
It could be both. I mean,
I've not
Do you
done
want
solo
chocolate and
scenes.
vanilla? Yes.
No,
It's like,
I mean someone by themselves, not you. What?
I have, but
Was
not
it a
in.
guy
Not,
or a girl?
unfortunately, it was
Oh,
Wait,
I'm
wait.
sorry.
pretty much just. It was pretty much like a ripped fucking Latin dude that they pulled out of a coffee shop.
Jesus.
Wait.
Dude.
What about any
A
gay
random
ones? Did you film
encounters.
any gay ones?
Oh, jeez.
Gay ones, yes, like 5
Oh
or 6
my
of them.
god!
Oh!
Oh my! Oh,
Yes,
Those ones pay more.
oh really?
Really?
Yep.
How much do they pay?
For most like straight jobs, quote unquote heterosexual shoots, I get like the 21 an hour. On gay shoots, I don't know why it's different, but depending on what kind of porno you're shooting, sometimes they change your pay. Most of the homosexual ones have money going in from the people who are being filmed because they want to be in a porno. I don't know how that shit works sometimes, but it's not how official pornographies handle shit. But I got paid like about 27 an hour when I was on those jobs.
Oh, that's that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely not bad. $6 up. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
That's how much. That's how some fucking like beginning doctors. That's like the wage that they make. So I mean,
Yeah, that is true.
somebody else had a question.
Nah.
Oh, what's your favorite meme? Let's go right in the meme
Yeah,
because
let's just cross that huge ass
We're gonna
bridge.
backpedal, huh?
yeah.
I have a very obscure meme that I like. That's really good, but I don't have it on me. I'll have
Is it,
to
brother, can
load
I
it to
have
you so
some
you can put it at
oats?
the end of the video.
Okay.
But it was at the like midsection of the whole Undertale community like uprising when people were just fucking like complaining about them all the time. Some person took a character from the game called Burger Pants, which is this like life
Yeah, I know what
existential
it is.
crisis cream-colored cat.
Yeah.
Well, you have to explain it to the viewers who don't
Yeah.
know.
It's
And
pretty
his,
much
his
like
whole role in the game is
yeah.
that he works at a fast food restaurant in the game, and he hates his life pretty much, and he's bullied by people.
To put it
And
into terms, he's
somebody
pretty
took
much
his
like
face. Go ahead.
It's pretty much like the TV show, like, oh, I hate my life every time they pop up on the screen.
He's like that, but he has more of a bipolar personality where he goes absolutely batshit insane at random points of dialogue. And pretty much somebody photoshopped the faces from the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat movie, put his face in the middle of them, and then started drawing like custom sprites around them to just be the
Jesus.
most obnoxious fucking character ever. And like the best one is called Buy My Fucking Burgers, but it's not funny unless you know the context of it being like Undertale and seeing the picture itself, which I'll give you when I get home, so you can put it at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
But It's just a series of very obnoxious images that pissed Undertale fans off, or at least a good portion of them.
Nice.
So I was probably going to use this for the thumbnail, or well, actually, probably the whole podcast, the little picture for the podcast and shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to find the artist so you can credit them.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we're not other people. We give credit to people who deserve it. Number 1 policy. Number 2 policy. I don't know what the number 2 policy is yet.
It's that the number 2 policy is the best policy. That's the number 2 policy.
It's
Policy number 2 means don't question policy 1.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no
don't question policy 1.
Policy 3 is don't question policy 2.
Yeah. So
Always service our guests, even with the most ridiculous requests.
If I had to pick a meme that was really good that most people are familiar with,
A popular meme.
it's probably that fucking video I showed you where it says "Let me smash" with the fucking text-to-speech bird.
oh yeah.
That's probably like the best fucking ones I've. That's like the best edit I've seen in quite a very long time. Now that I can't think of it, like there hasn't been a lot of really good edits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about that meme that's going around with the fucking hot knife shit?
It's not a meme.
Well, whatever.
It's only a meme because everybody is calling it a meme.
Yeah.
All it is
I
people
don't think
making
there's
dumb
anything
like,
wrong with-
YouTube
I don't-
thumbnails.
I don't think. I mean, I think it's actually funny in terms of how they decided to make it a thumbnail meme because it is funny. Just seeing people just. Well, as an artist, it's really funny to watch people do like shitty MS Paint edits. That's just a comedy thing for us and most people. And when you see just like really crappy unaliased pixels just fucking covering a knife, it gets me, but it's not funny. Like I don't dislike Pyrocynical or anything, but like the hot knife thing, they are the kind of people that make it unfunny. When you try to do something with it and point it out, it's not really laughable. When you leave it in the thumbnails and just look at it, and just like, okay, it's so shittily done that it's good. It's one of those things. It's almost like an anti-joke in visual form. But when
To
you
be
have people who start doing it on purpose, it completely defeats the purpose of why it's funny because it's that fucking sarcastic of a visual.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, the actual thing that they're making fun of is actually pretty cool due to the fact that I am a science nerd. So it's like really cool to see some of the videos that go on it. But the
Yeah, but,
fact
like,
that it's turned into the actual joke is made it stupid.
but like they did a video where, like on a lighter, and the only thing that the lighter did was just slice in half, and it's like, why would you put?
Well,
that
yeah,
on the
but I
video?
mean, some of the cool ones were like cut open like Coke cans and shit, and they start firing off or whatever. Those are the cool ones.
That is a good one to point out. I did feel weird about watching the lighter one because I'm not against the Mr. Gear videos. Maybe he stole the concept from somebody else. That's for everybody else to investigate and decide. But when he took a I'm assuming it's propane blowtorch and heat that shit up, and he slices it through lighters, how the fuck did the fluid not set off? Because it's fucking lighter fluid and it didn't burn at all. Not even
it was
small
just kind of like
at all. It acted like water, so like I'm under suspicion that he emptied them out and replaced it with like water.
Maybe,
or something.
probably because he was afraid that he was gonna light his ass on fire, which honestly would have been a better video.
I mean, fair enough to him if he doesn't want to blow his ass up, but he shouldn't just fake the lighter part. Like,
just change out
nobody's
the part.
gonna give him shit.
Just change out the part.
Like nobody's gonna fucking give him shit for like, I don't want to kill myself. It's like, well, we don't want you to kill yourself.
Right,
either,
but
so
instead of
don't
doing the
fucking
lighter thing, just do something else, such as like choose a different thing to cut through.
Like
the knife goes
ping
through
pong
pineapple
ball.
grenade.
Ping pong
Oh
balls.
yeah, reasonable.
Or no, like the metal ball one. The metal ball one was cool too.
I love that one. Like, here's the thing. I don't know why people are upset that Mr. Gear. If you want to be upset if he stole somebody's concept, that's reasonable. Fine, whatever. But
Just because
it's
his
watching
concept
it's watching how extreme heat reacts with different materials, and that's sort of like a visual ASMR for people.
Yeah,
I don't
I
really-
really like the one where he did it on the soap and it started spinning like crazy. That was nuts.
Oh yeah. My favorite ones are I like where he cuts through the rubber band ball, and I like how he does the how he cooks food with the fucking blade like it's just a handed
Yeah.
grill.
Like it's got good videos. It's just there's some parts that are questionable, and then some parts that are like, oh,
It's very hit and miss, but the fact
yeah,
that everybody's jealous of it, they can't back up any argument other than some parts aren't good, and that maybe his content idea as the theme was stolen. That's about it.
Well, honestly, there's multiple people who do like, oh, this is what happens if you put it through like extreme pressure or something. Which I mean, it's like there's
Well,
so
yeah,
many.
that's like that's the hydraulic press channels. It's pretty much the same concept, and nobody's really giving them shit.
Right, it's the same concept, just he's using a different tool.
Yeah, I don't really think anybody has a argument against Mr. Gear other than that. Maybe his titles are clickbaity, but really, he's not lying about what he's doing. It's a hot knife going through shit. Maybe it's not 1,000 degrees, but if you have to be really like, if you have to be so petty that you got to get semantical about it, just say it's annoying to see titles in all caps to make sure people look at it. It's like, okay, if you're so jealous about it, then why don't you do the same thing, but just try a different form of like
That's like a
kinetic force or
personal
something
attack
like
towards
that.
me, though, if they're doing that like all caps thing, because like most of my titles, it's the title of the game and then the part and then all caps like some type of like
Well, no, clickbait isn't bad unless like it's misleading. But
or
don't
abusive or not abusive, but like overused.
you know like clickbait? It's like an advertisement. You want people to go to your video, you know,
Right.
because that's how
It's
you make
good
money.
in moderation.
Like you don't want it to be misleading. Like if it's misleading, that's just like a scammy move. That's just like scamming. It's basically scamming.
For example, like if I tell them the next video like the console guy breaks his leg, but all it is I fucking like thumped my knee up against my coffee table. That would be stupid.
No.
There
What
are
would
ways
you?
to misuse clickbait, but like I have a video actually about clickbait. It's not a very great video in terms of visual representation, but all the information is fucking there.
Nice.
This isn't really a plug, but I mean, like, I feel like I don't want to risk sounding overly repetitive when I say, like, clickbait is not something that sits inherently on a moral scale. It's entirely dependent on how you use it.
Yeah. If you use it just to bring in people, like just because, and your whole channel's clickbait,
If you can't
that's
back
bad.
up what you're clickbaiting, that's bad. If you can back up what you're clickbaiting, then yes.
Yeah.
The whole
Like,
point is to get people to click your videos.
yeah, like back on my channel, I actually had one clickbait video where I did like a, oh god, what was the guy that I did a video about? It was the one that does like he tries to do like a tutorial video, but then like halfway through destroys it with like eggs and shit.
Oh, how to
How
basic.
to basic.
Yeah, I did a how to basic video where I did like how to YouTube or something like that, and it was this stupid little like, oh, this is how I prep for YouTube, but it was kind of themed like that, and it was sort of clickbaity. But I mean, my rest of my content was my normal content. Like if you just throw like one or two in there, it's completely fine. Like you just got to use it properly.
I don't really think it matters how many you have as long as like what you're saying is actually backed up.
Right.
Well, yeah, no, like saying I almost died, and then like using your whole entire video, and like at the end of the story, you're like, so this guy walked in the store, and I thought he was gonna shoot it up, so I thought I was gonna die, and that's your story. And,
Yeah.
yeah, that's clickbait. That's like,
Well, that's kind of the halfway mark in terms of like, yeah, okay, maybe you would have gotten shot, but
well, I
to
mean,
clickbait it is not that big of a deal. But it's not. It's certainly not meeting the marker. If you want to say I almost died, and it's like somebody told me this joke and I couldn't fucking breathe, that's where you draw the fucking line.
well, no, I mean, it isn't really clickbait. I guess it's more like blatantly like.
That's sort of like a halfway lie, almost like, yeah, you could have been risked getting killed, but is it really worth telling everybody about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of shit that Scarce reports on when everything's going really fucking slow.
And he does a double upload, so he gets double the money.
Yeah, it's like
Bro.
no disrespect on Scarce or anything, but a lot of the shit he reports on is mundane garbage, and I don't really give a fuck to hear half of it.
Yeah.
And he went with Zoe Berger, or whatever, like in that other chick.
I don't give a
Like,
fuck
what
who
happened to
he's.
that?
I don't care who's pushy. He's crushing. Like, I don't care.
No, like
Don't tell me
freaking,
about dumb.
they made a freaking video. It was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
They made it.
It was.
Pretty much anything with Zoe Berger in it, I avoid like the plague because I feel like when I listen to her speak, I lose any sort of semblance of intelligence that I have in my body.
Very true.
It's just
Apparently-
my brain thoughts are being deleted.
Apparently, she
By
just
the way-
turned 21. I thought she was like 30 freaking 2.
Oh, well.
Well, she's got the ham rolls of a 32.
True.
Hold on, you're gonna have to edit this bit out because I'm about to pull something.
No,
Next,
we're just gonna leave that
We'll
shit
just-
in here.
It
Dramatic.
sounds like I'm moving a fucking block on Ocarina of Time.
well, maybe you are. We don't know because there's no physical video, so you could be.
Okay, if you want to know what I was moving, it's like a small drawer that this person stands on because they're that fucking short to reach the salad bar when they're working on the salad.
Short people are my favorite.
Ah.
Because I'm short,
I feel
so
better.
I gotta do that type of stuff.
Midget porn.
No,
Midget porn. Do you do any midget porn, Rummy?
Midget porn? Never.
No.
Oh.
I
Okay.
think that's like the rare oddity.
That is an oddity. That's not something
Yeah.
that commonly happens. to me.
Did you do BBW BDSM midget porn?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
That's like the
Uh,
golden goose. I don't think anyone's done that.
I hope they didn't.
what,
No offense
BBW,
to anyone who's in
BDSM? That's very common.
No. The whole thing.
BBW BDSM midget
with
porn.
midgets? I'm sure it's somewhere, but it's not
And they're
common.
also BBWs.
You're also going to have to edit this bit out because I'm about to make more loud noise.
Go ahead. It's all cool.
Rush Ryan, don't edit that out. We like the big giant moving because it's add to
Listen,
the
if you want to
context.
keep
He's
if you
a
want to
real
keep it in,
person.
fine. But there is shit that I'm going to be moving around.
We need to remix it. Let's do this.
Oh, dude. We need to get what's his face in here.
But
so
if I had to
we can mix it.
list, if I'm going to list a variety of the shit I filmed, there was. And I'm not going to include interracial because that's not a type of porn. That's just some stupid bullshit preference thing for I want to see different colored people fucking. But there was
It's pretty
straight
much
porn,
just like a tab. It's like
straight
here.
porn, gay porn. Let's see. There was this tiny dude with a really big woman. She had to at least been like 450 something pounds.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Who was on top?
Who's
girl.
on top?
The girl.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It looked like he had a ham beast
sad
completely
day.
devouring his body.
He
Sad
needs a really good
day.
fluffer for that one.
No, he was totally into it.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I
I
mean,
don't think his
I know
body
you
was
said no, I know you said no racy shit, but he was a fucking black dude, so he's into fat chicks.
Oh.
Oh, that's completely fine.
I mean,
but
I'm gonna call it right now. I don't know what it is with black dudes and fat people. I don't know. I don't know. I'll never get it. We'll stray off that topic though.
yeah, we're not getting into that one.
I don't want to get
Okay.
you completely fucking flagged.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, you do art, Rummy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ah,
obviously,
cool.
I only know this, but the viewers don't. So, you on what was that? Newgrounds. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Dude,
I've been
Newgrounds
on
is
Newgrounds
awesome.
for years, but that isn't where I started posting art.
Oh.
Was it on 4chan?
Believe it or not, yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, it's like you're psychic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let me spin you a little yarn here. Is that a lot of people don't understand about 4chan is that almost every 4chan board has something called a draw thread. That's where digital artists get together to draw things typically related to the board. And I started on TG. I think it's TG. No, TTG. There we go. It's tabletop gaming. because I like RPGs and stuff like D&D, and I like
Remy
drawing
just like boosted himself in my rise because I also like those games. They are quite enjoyable, especially like
so.
on
Oh, yeah.
long weekends.
You fucking nerds. I
Hey.
rolled a 6. I die.
And I first started getting popular, but a lot of people didn't know me because I started doing requests for people who needed like
Oh, cool.
gore
Pain physics.
drawn, and I wasn't very good at gore, so I started trying and harder. I got okay at it in terms of line work, but I'm not very good at coloring, and I'm still not good at coloring. And, I
Things
moved
that you
from
think should be
PG
red
after
should
things got
probably be
slow.
red.
Put red everywhere. It's the solution.
It has to be like
But
The
Dark
whole
ketchup.
thing, just complete red.
I wish that would work, but there's a lot of things to consider when you're drawing gores. Like, if blood isn't currently on that body part, you have to know how to color and shade like raw muscular structures in sinew and like
Ew.
the fat and how fat marbleizes onto your limbs,
Ew.
like bone tissue,
Ew.
and, what skin looks like when it splits or when it's punctured, things like that. It's like there's a lot of
shit
things
is
to
just starting
consider
to change
because
for some reason.
the human body reacts in dozens of ways to any sort of like injury trauma.
Hairpin
Like-
fracture.
Your flesh will change different colors depending on what kind of injury you receive.
There's a whole lot of biology that goes into drawing gore.
Yes.
Or not biology, anatomy.
Anatomy.
Yeah.
Anatomy.
I say it
Anatomy.
weird.
Anatomy.
I
But
say it
yeah,
like some like old
from
British
PG. So I'll finish this little bit up for everybody. That
dude.
you go from TG when you see draw threads there. It's about the run of mill what you expect. People wanting their D&D characters drawn so they can use them for board tokens, things like that. Then you move on to B, and everybody knows B is famous for lay epic random memes. Even though it's garbage now, because all it is a bunch of dudes in the closet looking at other dudes dressed up like girls
Oh no.
and chicks with dicks. It's pretty fucking horrible. Anyway,
Oh no.
I mean,
Oh,
if you want to jerk off to what
Oh
you want to jerk off to,
my.
that's fine. But you can also be objectively shit at just any kind of porn you like. That's not my preference.
yeah. Oh,
I'm that jerk.
so
No,
you were
no.
telling me.
Hold on. Story's not over. On
Okay.
B,
But wait, there's more.
I went there and I started joining a draw thread, and it's probably one of the most chaotic in communities that you'll ever see in terms of a draw thread, because there's like everything there. It's like a petri dish of witnessing like raw
Petri dishes.
human behavior in every aspect. People talking about suicide because they want attention, like the difference between somebody who's genuinely sad and
Yeah.
people who say it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's people who are just out there lashing at everybody possible for no reason or a reason. People like leaking each other's personal info or talking about shit that only happens between them on Skype. It's entirely chaotic. And by the time I went to this board, I still wasn't a good artist. I don't consider myself like great, but I'm way better than I was probably the time I left that fucking board.
Wait, what?
And pretty much all in all, after
Yes.
I went on B, I stayed there for about 2 years, met somebody who taught me how to do really good line art. And then I met the person who does the background of my videos that most people see and my icons. I met him through there, believe it or not, on B. And he's like as of now, he's 50, and he's like a very seasoned like Disney artist for old poster work and stuff, and comics.
Yeah, Remy.
So I came out of 4chan a way better artist because nobody holds back what they're thinking there, and it's really fucking mean, but it's not for everybody in terms of learning.
Mhm.
So
It's kind of like
yeah, that's pretty much. I I bounced draw boards, and that's about as far as the story goes. But 4chan did teach me how to draw way better.
Yeah, so sports fan is kind of like the Spartans and stuff. Like they this brutal fucking eyes, but they want to get the person better and shit. What they doing, they don't hold back. So it's like if you want to get a be a that brutal fucking comment and stuff to get better and stuff. If you like, very harsh criticism, go there and just be like a Spartan drawer, I guess. That's what it reminds me of.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but Wes, how much time do we got? Or how much time is on right now? How much time are we at right now?
40.
All right.
Oh, okay. We got a
How
couple more.
much?
We've recorded for 40 minutes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, we have like I think we have a little bit more to do, like 20 more
Yeah.
minutes. Shit.
We usually, yeah, we keep it around an hour to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour 15 or hour 50?
Hour to 50.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, what the fuck?
I guess he's done. Nope.
Hello? Oh, are you there?
Rummy, what's
Huh?
going on? You kind of disappeared mid-podcast.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I accidentally muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so what was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah,
Because like
so
I have a fucking button, like I have my Bluetooth headset has a bunch of fucking buttons on it, and when I go to change the volume to turn you guys up, I keep hitting fucking mute on accident.
Jesus.
oh okay. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so how do
Alright,
you like
TJ.
promote your stuff for artwork and stuff? Because you were telling me like I'm supposed to be pouring myself out for being like artist and stuff. This try
Oh,
to get
that's something I learned when I was in like a quote unquote like junior and senior year like trade school thing program we have
mm,
over here in New York. Uh, when you advertise yourself as an artist, there's a lot of things you got to do. I'm going to be doing the cover, that sort of thing in detail, but it's going to take a while because there's a lot to go over. But
Could you do like a
if you're
nutshell
talking
version?
about if you're talking about art specifically, it's a matter of you need to do your homework on hashtags that are trending on like movies, video games, and fandoms. Even if it's not something you like, it doesn't hurt once in a while to like go out of your way to draw something that a lot of people are talking about in order to get viewers.
mm,
Because unlike YouTube, it's not trying to pretend you're into the thing because when you're an artist, you can get away with I saw this thing and I drew it. You don't need more information backed behind it other than I wanted to draw it.
You
And
wanted
that's
to
the
give it a
advantage of
shot.
being somebody who draws.
yeah.
But I wouldn't say pander unless you're absolutely out for those views because there's a lot of people who draws nothing but fandom shit, and I'm not against them, but at the same time, they're fucking boring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because it's the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
Variety is good.
yeah,
but if you pick up on trends, learn about
mhm,
hashtags and taglines that are big on the website if they're related to your stuff, whether you're on like I don't know Twitter, Newgrounds, Tumblr. Good luck on fucking Tumblr without knowing somebody already, but
mhm,
that's just the truth. Tumblr's really garbage on getting random people stuff out. Usually, when you're big, you stay big. When you're small, you stay small, unless you get help from somebody who's already big somehow.
yeah.
But
Right.
other than that, the other easiest way I can imagine is like draw people's fetishes, draw tits, draw dicks, all that bullshit. Draw furries. Like there is no easy way of saying like you're gonna get famous simply for the fact that you're gonna draw original shit because doing original content typically does not net you anything. Like your friends will support you on it, and a few people might get interested in it when it's passed around, but it's not going to make you explode. The only thing that makes you explode is when you do something everybody's familiar with, or if you're like a god tier artist or animator. It's like there's no reasonable way to approach original content until you've built an audience off of doing content that other people can relate to. I did an experiment briefly as an artist that I started making like little comics, little quote unquote relatability comics, just to see the viewership difference. And they spiked a lot harder than anything else I've ever done because they were simple and the message in them is something that everybody can reasonably grasp at most ages. And the closer you get to that like cuddly wuddly fluffy bullshit about like happiness and equality and all that crap, the closer you are to just making your shit like famous as fuck. But in my opinion, if you want to make a life off of it and if you can stomach it, go for it. But I personally can't. It's like I want to eventually I'll get good enough and then I'll develop a better tolerance to it.
Right.
But it's just fucking awful to see like the kind of shit that gets attention when you see other people who work really hard and have way cooler stuff to just see these like shitty one-off comics that are pretty much like a one punchline thing for most artists. Because if you notice on Twitter, there's a couple comic artists. One of them I don't mind, but there's like a small handful of them. And if you look up this thing called Owlturd Comics, comics with an X at the end of it, not CS, a lot of people shit on him because he has too much of a running gag where he just makes jokes about life is hard, and that's pretty much the punchline. But there's a lot of people who follow him who are not nearly as talented as him visually to keep others stimulated. And he has a huge fan base compared to any of us here. Like, it is staggering. When you make one-off jokes constantly that people can relate to, it just keeps piling up. Like, repetitive content that doesn't change seems to work with people. But that's the problem. You can't creatively satiate yourself on it, but it is the purely most effective means of promotion possible to just keep doing the fucking same shit that people like. And if you want to get bigger, then you're going to have to pander to the trends until you feel like you have a comfortable base size and then just like, I don't know, put your original shit out there in between. I personally don't like it, but I don't hold it against anybody to do so if they want to grow. But other than that, like all the other details that would go into making your art big would be purely just hop on as many networks as possible, look up the tags, post your shit on as many websites as you possibly can that allow your content on it if you have specific types of content you like. I personally can rarely post most of my shit except on Newgrounds, which is why I'm there. Because I got banned off of Tumblr for drawing like the effects of a realistic medieval hanging, which is people don't understand. You don't just suffocate. There's a lot more that goes into it that like hurts the person, and that's why it's like the most cruel form of execution. And there's way worse shit on Tumblr, and I got banned for it, which is another thing you got to worry about. Because if people have their eyes on you, if you've drawn or done something people don't like, flag you no matter what, and try to get you banned as much as possible. So that's the other thing about being an artist is that if you draw stuff that other people don't like, you're gonna run the risk of like losing your entire fan base in one swoop. So that's another thing to watch out for is like be careful what you post if you're incredibly like number conscious about your fan base. And another thing is like don't be afraid to draw fan art of other big artists that you admire and like YouTubers and things like that because that also puts in a good word for you. I mean, you're not just blatantly dick sucking or anything when you're an artist and you make work for somebody because if it's not just like a shitty one-off doodle and you can actually see their time put into it, it shows you actually admire their stuff. And it helps if you like draw something that's a little more like unique to their content other than just drawing their mascot or whatever, their avatar. Because the more of an in-joke you have with it is like it shows that you are deeper into their content than just the face value knowledge that most people would know about them. So if you want to get the attention of other creators, if you have to show genuine interest in their stuff and then like draw something or I don't know, just do something creative involving their work and just show you actually have a deep interest. Don't just go to anybody that you see that's popular and draw their shit. Go to the people that are big that you like. If you can't back up, like, if you can't back up artistically, like things in the fan base that most people pay attention to who are deep in the fan base, you kind of get caught out for it for being like a trend attention exclusive person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's better to just go with things like if you want to be a safe trendsetter, do like games and movies. But if you're trying to be like, say, you don't like Markiplier, but you know he's popular and you just draw him, like most people are going to be expecting of you to draw more Markiplier stuff and know stuff about Markiplier, which means that if you get too deep within just trying to get attention, riding off that fan base, people are going to catch you out for knowing that you're not an actual fan. So that's bad promotion if you can't back that up. So only do pandering stuff if you actually know what you're getting into in terms of like admonishing to a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much as simple as it gets, but it is wordy.
Yeah. I do believe like hopefully you get obviously you want to be like be well known on like YouTube. Do you want to become like a huge YouTuber? Like what's your like ideal? Like it would be awesome or what? Because I do see something in you that you could actually be like this new uh logical thinking person on YouTube and not like always have like a right mindset of like this logical thinking. Like don't do like all the same stuff, but actually give something new to the point of this new topic. Like and I see a lot of big things with you, Romy, that you're probably gonna go far on YouTube if you work at it. Obviously you trying to get better with editing and stuff. And
Very fucking conscious of that shit. Yeah.
yeah, I do believe like you have something you something new on YouTube that I think logical thinking's out the door with some of the YouTubers and stuff, and just you have a right mindset, and you, I do believe you're probably gonna become huge.
Well, let's hope because my whole plan on making YouTube is shallow as it says. Like, I want to share some critical thinking with people, and I want to
Yes.
share like music and art that I like and shows.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole primary purpose is I want money, and I want to drag other people that I like up with me so they can make money and just have fun and dick around like a rich fag while pulling up my poor fag friends and making them rich fags. So it's pretty much the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. Like,
I want to bring good content, but like
mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it because I'm not Markiplier or anything. I'm not like, oh, I want to make people happy, blah blah blah. It's like, hey, sure, like maybe making people happy and think for themselves a little bit more is good,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to do it for free either. Eventually, I want to start making money off of it when I actually think my content is worth monetizing. That's the entire plan. I'm not gonna hide it. Money is good.
Yeah, yeah, a
That's
lot
how
of
I am. I kind of want
Money
to be
keeps you
that.
alive.
Yeah, I kind of want to be that in between. Like, yes, I'm doing this because it's money, but also because like, hey, I could legit sit on my ass for like 50 minutes and run a live stream and make money for a charity. Like,
I
there's
mean,
not a
that's the
lot of
American
opportunities
dream.
to do that. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's not a lot of opportunities to do that. That's why I kind of want to grow as a YouTuber. Because I mean, I could just do whatever I feel like. Like honestly, I could do stuff that I enjoy. People watch it and people donate to people that actually need the money.
yeah.
Everybody wants to make a lot of money with little effort, and I don't want to go against people who do a lot of effort for money, but if I can make it as easy as possible, I'm not going to argue with it either. But I'm not one of those who's going to delude myself into thinking that what I do is essential for other people, like some
Right.
people do.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are a little too convinced that their content is like, oh, I gotta put it out for my subscribers, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, no,
Nah,
you need
man,
to.
you did it because you started a hobby and you continued the hobby and it got big. So now you're just doing
Yeah,
your hobby for money.
pretty much. It's like people shouldn't go to a Casey Neistat standard where your life is all consumed with it, but you need to stay consistent enough with it that
Yeah,
you can sustain yourself.
right.
Mm-hmm.
or else you're going to burn yourself out. And like the whole reason of you staying there is going to become more so about the incentive of money. And even then, who knows how long YouTube can remain as generous with how much money it hands out as is.
Right.
There's a whole lot of shit to consider when it comes up to this, but I'm learning more and more. I'm more worried about content first, money later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes
Because I'm
down to
already
balancing.
used to scraping the barrel for money, so like it's not something I'm rushing with.
Yeah. Eventually, when you get big enough, it comes down to what can I afford to put in my own personal. What can I use to afford to like give to others, and what also can I afford to use to get equipment and stuff so that I don't like look like a complete fool my next video.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Like that's me. Like when I already have this kind of planned out if we as a group get big. Um that I'm gonna split my money kind of three ways. I'll have stuff for equipment and stuff for kind of like a personal choice, and then stuff to keep me from, having not all the basic essentials. Like I need water, I need electricity, I need food. Those are all good things. Gotta
I
pay
want money
those
so I can move
first.
somewhere that has fiber optics. God fucking damn it. I have needs.
Good old fiber optics.
I need it. I need it. Google, come to my town. Give me some fucking fiber optic. I'm sick of this 50 megabit bullshit. It does not satiate my need.
Um,
Anything else there, Josh?
I can't think of
Well,
anything else.
yeah, I was gonna say though we probably might want to start wrapping it up though, because we're
Mhm.
kind of, I think we're like at almost an hour,
Yeah.
or
Do you have
probably past it.
anything else that you want to say before we end the show, Rummy?
Uh, Other than I hope the podcast does more well than it has been. Not trying to shit on it, but
All right, I understand.
everybody's got to start somewhere. So I'm hoping it makes it bigger since you guys seem pretty consistent on wanting to do it with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's hope it gets bigger.
Do you have any
I hope my channel
suggestions
gets bigger,
for
but
us?
Yeah, that's
you
a good thing.
guys,
We need to start taking suggestions.
what you need to do is have a specific text channel for your Discord or like a Twitter account set up where you guys can drop lines with each other about scheduling times. You guys need to actually start posting a consistent schedule for all of you guys to let people know when you're awake and when you're asleep and what days you're usually not around, for starters.
Mhm.
And you need to start leaving each other messages if you think you're going to be missing for that day so nobody plans around it. And you need to, if you guys want to do like unscheduled podcasts, just a little one-off tiny bullshits that you want to post up to the channel just for fun, leave each other like a roundup message to see who's around and see if anybody wants to talk about anything.
Right.
Another thing you need to do as individuals is come together and like write down topics you hear about over the course of every week before you actually get together, and pull up as much information as you can about it, take notes to deal with it, and just make sure you write down what you think about it at the time before, and then write what you think about it after, so that you can actually discuss how your thoughts transition on a topic going from the beginning to where you are now when you get on the podcast.
Right.
Because the whole point, if you want to be commentary, is like you're gonna have a very similar initial reaction to how everybody else does about certain events. You know, like the whole Keemstar Leafy and iDubbbz and
Right.
all that bullshit. Everybody can be categorized, but people need to know how your thoughts on the topics that you're discussing have like evolved since your initial like meeting with that topic or those events. That way you can show, you need to be able to carry your viewpoint to the viewers so that they can actually like see where you go from A to point B. It's like it's not a serious podcast, I get that, but if you guys actually want to like have people a little more on board and get a little more invested in your person, you need to show people how you actually think. That way you guys don't look like you're kind of like jerking each other off and agreeing with each other.
All right.
That's pretty much other than scheduling and all that nonsense, I'd say that's pretty much all I got to say about the podcast. Because otherwise, you got artwork and everything, and you got a channel altogether.
Yeah.
I'd say
Never a
maybe
little.
consider investing into a theme intro as well and an outro.
For the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe consider. I'd watch if you guys aren't familiar with it. What Sleepy Cabin is. If you want to watch the definition of a good podcast, go to Sleepy Cabin or watch Sleepy Cast, whichever one it's listed under,
All right.
and watch how they set up their videos and listen to how they edit their stuff because they are the definition of a high quality podcast, and it's better than any podcast that anybody here has produced. It's even better than Baited. They may not be as big as Baited, but their podcast quality just outdoes Baited by a fucking mile, and they have no way to compare unless maybe this like new Catch 33 thing like starts to keep up. That's no disrespect on like Ultra Joe or for their stuff. Like the artwork's good, but the sound editors need to kind of step that shit up.
All right.
Okay. Any suggestions for any of our content, like
Yeah, like
Cam's
individual
or
content, yeah.
TJ's or mine?
Individual
or West Line's?
content.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to go over with that on an individual basis because I've only seen like scraps of what everybody does here, so that I can't make an opinion
Well, I
if I
mean,
don't
that's-
have enough
Okay.
familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Dramatic
maybe-
interest itself, I'm familiar with, but on a personal level, I'd say
Right.
needs to go off the podcast and more into everybody else's time.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'd say you guys should wrap this one up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it was fun having you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Thank you.
actually enjoyed this one out
Yep.
of the few that we've done.
Yeah.
That was a
Let's
good
wrap
time.
this up. Rest Ryan. End it.